We can preach moral conduct as much as we like until we turn blue. But until the compassion and the awareness does not come from inside, chances of the execution being wholeheartedly are close to nil. Fake it till you make it. That does not work. Feeling it helps. Contemplating it helps. Connecting with it helps. At first the connection is this much, then it'll become this much, then it becomes 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 this much, and it keeps increasing. The more we visit it, the more we breach the limitations, the more we breach our thoughts. There are many things in society that can be better. Many things in the world. For the simple reason that they are devoid of soul. When we say devoid of soul now, it is limited to the physicality of things. It is limited to the entertainment of things, to the addiction of things, to the codependence of things, to the need and greed of things, to the compulsion of things. It is not open, free, peaceful, pleasant, compassionate. There are these things in the world, but because they're very quiet, very subtle, they don't come into notice as often. Whereas the chaos is so bloody loud and obnoxious and intrusive that we feel that primarily that is what exists in existence, which is not true. There is always balance. And if not balance already, there is always striving for balance. So there is always this pendulum that is going in these degrees. Understanding this now, if we try to curtail the obnoxiousness or curtail the non-understanding aspects, it'll be harder, because what the ego will hear basically is that you are stopping me, you are not allowing me, you are preventing me, you are oppressing me, you are repressing me, you are full. When you address these subtle aspects now of understanding, increasing the understanding, increasing the explanation, increasing the showing and the widening and the expanding, then automatically the chaos subsides. When we start realizing how much of our own chaos we are contributing to, we'll realize collectively how much chaos we're contributing to. We cannot change the world at one go. Individually, if we each change our mind, however, the collective automatically gets influenced. By one, the collective gets influenced. Because we are, to a certain degree, sheep mentality as egos. So even if we see one doing something good, the good is inherent here. It is not that it is devoid. It is there. If we allow it enough breathing room, we see something that's inspiring, we see something that is loving, we see something that is light, we will gravitate towards it. We will want to emulate it, we want to mimic it, we want to imbibe on it, attain it, become it. It is another story that the mind will tell us otherwise. Cannot, too far, too difficult, too this, that, whatever it is. Then it becomes our choice who we listen to. That pull or the... So in this now, cultivating more of that light, cultivating more of the subtlety, cultivating more of the understanding, more of the healing, the noise has to sustain, has to subside, not sustain, please. That's has to subside. It is the same aspect happening in the world of light and dark, same happening soul and ego. Dark, not in the dark sense of the nothingness and emptiness, and not the spiritual version of darkness, but the darkness as far as chaos and mess. Bringing this understanding also, bringing this expansion also, bringing this peace and calm when we are this big, or in the stomach primarily. Continuing. Conception. Begin there. Better. Cultivating a certain peace, cultivating a certain mind, cultivating a certain expansion, a certain connection, a certain goodness. Both parents. Then having. Then during that entire term. Then birthing and the upbringing. Yes, it is a lifelong thing. It is not I do one day and then bindas. Not. It is continuous. That's why the change has to come from here. It has to be with conviction. It has to be with honesty. It has to be with desire from the soul, from the heart. Otherwise it becomes superficial. And vibration is saying something else, words are coming out something else, but the feeling is still not there. The impression will also not be there on the youngling. It is easier to build strong children than mend broken adults. Though, the only reason why the broken adults are harder to mend is because the ego has set in, and the adults tend to side with the ego more than the innocence. When I say innocence, I don't mean naivety, meaning the openness and the curiosity and the problem-solving ability and the creativity aspect of us. The never say die parts. There are some children that come that are already very depressed, the past life and karmic thing and family thing, and so everything is very heavy and all that has to be broken up, so it becomes a little bit more tedious of a task. But for more or less, for the most part, children are more goose though. So that if we allow that aspect now of our inside selves, the innocent aspect, then automatically the healing also becomes very simple. Problem is always complicated. Solving it is simple. But because we're not used to simplicity, mentally speaking, and because we're more in the mind than we are in the soul and the heart, we expect complexity. Okay, however the complicated the problem, the solution should be double complicated. No. This entire mesh, you pull one key and also drum. Everything falls. You don't have to address every single part and bit and washer and dryer and any of that. One key, the entire thing comes crashing. Connect, be one, open. More than half gone. So in short, solving begins, then everything by extension.